So what might be useful is to think about what strategies do we use? So strategies that help us tackle this work-home balance, work-life balance, that helps us get the flow, get the self-awareness, get the choices. What helps us?
Yeah, I don't mind kicking this one off. Ever since a few years ago, my weekday mornings I start my day with a walk. And the first thing I do is get up, make a cup of tea, and get out of the house. Ideally before my 4-year-old wakes up. Not always, but yeah, that to me, and just get starting the day with some space, fresh air, bit of reflection time, check-in is prevents days becoming weeks in terms of out of balance. And I normally would then do a little bit of meditation and then look at my day ahead. And sometimes if I'm out of balance, there might then be some adjustments in my day planning as a result of actually thinking, God, actually, I'm knackered, or I need to pick it up work-wise, or whichever the adjustment is.
Right,
Clive, a while ago, as we'd got into lockdown, I ran an informal LinkedIn poll. From that tiny data set, for me, it turned out like 80% of people, of workers who had a commute pre-lockdown, had traded the commuting time for getting more work done, starting earlier.
It's huge.
So like,
yep.
like eating into some of that by taking yourself outdoors for a walk. Sounds
any weather as well. Get a thick jacket is my advice in the winter.
Agree.
Get out.
100%. Yeah.
I was thinking about this question, and here's something that I've found challenging in my office life previously. So it's like something to go and experiment with is reframing, saying yes and no. So I want to offer people like yes, saying yes to a question. Could you take this on? Could you do this? Could you help me out with that? Saying yes is the worst value answer you can offer. Like what if no was the best answer? Because no provides instant clarity. There is no ambiguity. And saying no is giving agency and empowerment to the person asking the question. Could you do this thing for me? No, I can't. Now they know. They're not guessing. They're not hoping that you will, because you said you would, but you might not. So like, what if no was the best quality answer? And then the next best answer is yes, if, or yes, when. Hey, could you take this on and do this for me? Yes, if you can ask my boss to lower the priority on the work that I've currently got on. Yes, when I've finished the thing I'm doing, and that's going to be about 2 more weeks. Is that okay for you? Giving some qualification and giving it back to them so they still are empowered and they get to decide if those conditions are okay for them. And the worst possible answer is yes, with no qualification, because yes is an empty promise. Because if you're saying yes today and you say yes this afternoon, you say yes tomorrow, at some point, somebody you said yes to is going to become a no, but you're never going to give them the respect of telling them.
Yeah.
So I'd offer that reframe and the experiment of, will you say no 5 times this week?
Nice.
Wow. I love the clarity of that. And what immediately comes to my mind is how many sessions and therapies do they have to go through before they reach that kind of courage and bravery to stand firm and really make that request. But I'm also looking at word strategies, and I'm wondering if we are complicating our life as usual. That's what we do. That's why we're here. Maybe sometimes is just being honest with ourselves. Today, sometimes, for example, like if you wake up and you just don't feel 100%, so you then still dive in and do all the things that you do. With Duncan's wisdom, perhaps the boundary is to be set very clear. Today, I'm not willing. I cannot do this. And another word always comes back to me is presence. Just being present with our body. That's, to me, is the hardest part. being present, being honest with our body, with ourselves. If we can nail those 2 points, maybe things will become more aflow.
Nice.
So what works for me, because I am very much a list writer, long to doer. You know, I am very, you know, I've got a strong hyperachiever. It's all about getting things done.
Do you like ticking the boxes, Kate?
Oh,
I love that.
I absolutely love that. So it goes back to me, that fixed and flow for me. So one of the things I do, and I do this at the weekend as well, is it's about what's the one thing I have to do that day? One thing, not the whole to-do list. Excuse me. Because actually there's always some kind of priority, whatever that is, you know, whether it's that one email or that one proposal or that one meeting, there's always one thing that absolutely has to happen, that at the end of the day, I will go, I've done that. So rather than having 10 things, what's the one thing? And I do that at the weekend as well. And it's like, it could be actually the one thing, it could be like going for a walk with the kids. That's the one thing, you know, that absolutely we need to do, because whatever it is, but it's looking for that one.
Nice.
Joan, what about you? Sorry, I was going to say, Joan, what strategies work for you?
I don't really think I have anything else to add. I just really enjoyed hearing you talking about prioritizing. And I suppose that's what I kind of try and do. And it links into what you said about what's fixed, what has to be done, and what doesn't. I'm getting better at saying no to people. As somebody who's been an assertiveness trainer, I love that quote about when you say no to somebody else, you're saying yes to yourself. And I've been doing a lot more of that, and I've been prioritizing learning to sing and doing a lot of feel the fear things. So I'm getting a bit more work-life balance because I've just decided, you know, getting to a certain age, there's things I have to make happen. You know, if I'm not going to do this. So this weekend coming, I'm going to be singing with a man with a baby grand piano. And I'm just really excited about that. So I'll be saying no to a whole load of other things to create space to learn the Kate Bush song that I want to learn. And it's just getting excited about something. For me, the strategy is looking at where do I find the excitement and how do I start building in some of the fun things? Because as a person, I've always been available. You know, I've felt that, you know, if a cat-sitting client phones up, I have to deal with them, you know, because then they'll turn to somebody else if they don't get a yes or no answer. So I'm starting to not reply to emails immediately. I am bad at opening the different email accounts and looking at them, but at least I'm starting to make decisions about, do I need to reply to that right now? No, I don't. So it's about prioritizing and giving myself permission just to go, do you know what? Nah, I'm not on call all the time. So, but what I've always been fascinated by is the difference between what we know and what we actually put into practice. The difference between knowing that all this. I've been teaching about self-esteem, assertiveness for, I don't know how many years, 30. I've been in community work for 40 years, but I'm still not putting it all into practice. It's only now that I'm going to go, oh, I'm 61. Practicing what I write down and what I preach. I better start practicing it now. So sorry.
What I love, Joan, about what you said, and Kate, there's elements of it in your thoughts too, is this idea of a little bit of self-compassion. The idea of what's one thing, no matter how small, what's the one thing that I can do today that will help? So that's the whole James Clear atomic habit stuff around being that person. Like, it doesn't matter how small it is, but building that habit of success, because then you're being that person that you want to be.